I'm Lucy and welcome to my channel. Today I've got another drama school video. I know I did my drama school audition series quite a while now and I've had loads of questions about it, so I thought I'd do a little updated video. This video is going to be about choosing your audition songs specifically. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see one of the monologues in the future, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up to let me know, and don't forget to ask any questions down below in the comments. So for me, choosing my song for my auditions was probably one of the hardest parts. You get so many different opinions from different people, different things sound good on different people. Obviously singing is all subjective, so what someone else loves, someone else might hate. So you really just need to go with your gut instinct and take the best advice from everything that you're given. So for me, choosing my song for auditions was very stressful. I got so many different opinions from different people and I let that stress me out, but you really just need to take the best and what works for you from every different person you can get an opinion from, because opinions at the end of the day are a good thing because they're going to give you a wide variety of thoughts on what pieces you're choosing. So I was on a foundation course, so we were all choosing audition material. Some people found their perfect song in the first 2 weeks and some people didn't find it 2 weeks before auditions. Do not let that stress you out. I know a lot of people on foundation course let it worry them if their friends found their perfect song and they haven't. It doesn't matter. You will find your song, and there is no perfect song for anyone. Like, there are so many different songs out there that I'm sure a million will suit you, but you just need to choose the one that you feel most comfortable with. So I've actually got my notebook from my foundation course, which has all my notes from my acting through song class. I have gone through and folded down the pages of where I was kind of choosing songs, what my thoughts were, and yeah, I'll just give you an insight into the different songs that I considered and what I actually chose in the end. So right back at the beginning of my course, this was in October, so I only started the course in September, so I'd only been there for a month. I sang One Perfect Moment from Bring It On. Now my fear always with this song was, oh, it's so overdone, everyone does it, blah blah blah. People say don't do songs that are too overdone. Everyone's opinion on that is different. I sang this in my acting through song class and I was told it was a really good audition song for me. So I feel like if you're looking to do a song that is overdone, you just need to make sure that it's the right song for you and you're not just doing it because it's the only one you know. When I actually did this song in my first week at Overdone, because we had to like bring a song we'd done before, the teacher said that he hadn't heard it in so long, and a lot of that is due to the fact that people aren't singing One Perfect Moment because they think it's overdone. And if everyone's not singing it but you're that one person that chooses to sing it, then it's not technically overdone because you're the only person that sang it. When you're talking about overdone songs, you need to not worry if people do the same song as you on your audition day. It is not the end of the world. It does not make a difference to your audition or to the other person's audition. It's just sometimes a little bit off-putting, but it literally does not make a single difference. And in some schools you have to choose from a list, so it's inevitable that will happen. So moving on from One Perfect Moment, the next song that I have notes about is More to the Story, which is actually a song that was cut from Shrek. I personally love this song, I love to sing it, but it wasn't the best audition song for me, as it's a very repetitive song, and usually if songs are cut from a show, they're cut for a reason because they don't add to the plot, they're not as very exciting a number, so maybe just when you're choosing your songs, consider if something's cut from a show, why was it cut? There's usually a good reason why it was cut and why it wasn't put in the show. Then moving on again, I actually made like a little table in my notebook of all the songs I was kind of considering at the time. I started off trying to have way too many audition songs, which was just really not a good idea because it confused me and stressed me out. So at this point, I was thinking I wanted 2 legit ballads, so 2 pre-1965 ballads, 2 pre-1965 up-tempo, 2 contemporary ballads, and 2 contemporary up-tempo pieces, which is just absolutely ridiculous and nobody needs that many audition pieces. But just in case you were interested, at this point, the songs that I were considering were for legit ballads, which is pre-1965. I've had a few questions about that. Every school has the cut-off for legit differently, but the general gist is usually pre-1965, but just check to be specific for the school you're auditioning for. So legit ballads, I had Falling in Love with Love from the Boys from Syracuse, which I actually didn't end up choosing, but I did do it as my Mount View recall song because it was on the list. And also What Good Would the Moon Be from Street Scene, which I did not end up doing. For legit up-tempo, I had On the Other Side of the Tracks from Little Me and I Get a Kick Out of You from Anything Goes. I don't even know why I put that on this list because I'd never sang it in Acting Through Song. And yeah, I was never going to do it. So I think I was just stressed and I wanted to write something down on my list because that's definitely something I would do. For my contemporary ballads, I had One Perfect Moment from Bring It On, which I spoke about before, and More to the Story. This was more as a backup. I knew I wouldn't actually use it. I just, again, wrote it down because it made me feel a bit better. And for contemporary up-tempo, I only had one. I had Right Hand Man from Something Rotten. Now, moving on to what I actually chose and what I actually took to my auditions with me. For our course, we were advised to always take backup songs, and I think for me, who is a stresser, that was a good thing because I knew all my bases were covered. So I took a legit ballad, a legit up-tempo, contemporary ballad and contemporary up-tempo. I knew them all like the back of my hand, so it wasn't stressful about getting confused between them all. And at this point, I took time to sit and write out all my songs, the composers, the general kind of gist of what's happening in the story, what's happened just before, and what they're from, and also what other musicals the composers had written. This literally came in handy in about one school. Did it even? I don't know, but all this kind of stuff they could ask you in your audition, so I feel like it's always better to go in prepared. I'd really recommend knowing what musical it's from, when the musical came out, who wrote it, and what the kind of general gist of your character's story is at this point in the show. For me, for contemporary ballad, I had One Perfect Moment, which we spoke about before, and Right Hand Man from Something Rotten. Right Hand Man was a very weird find for me. I'd had it in my folder for ages as I did it with a singing teacher years ago in Dubai, but I just never thought it was a great song for me. And then in rep class, where basically we get asked to bring in a different type of song every week, it was comedy week, and I was like, oh, perfect, I've got that song on my folder. So I whipped it out, took it to rep class, and they were like, you should really do this for your auditions. And it was actually my first choice contemporary song at all the schools I auditioned for, and I still love it. I'm not even sick of singing it because it's such a good song, and I'd really recommend taking a look at it. For pre-1965 legit, I did Is It Really Me from 110 in the Shade, 110 in the Shade. My friend always tells me off for saying it wrong, but I can't remember which one's right. I mean, it's basically written 110 in the Shade. Maybe it's said like that. Anyway, and I really loved this piece. 110 in the Shade is a really good musical to look at for legit songs because Simple Little Things is also a really good one, and there is a third one in there which is really good, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you're looking for legit, definitely look at that musical. And also my up-tempo legit pre-1965 was On the Other Side of the Tracks. It's not legit quality at all, just wanted to have a pre-1965 up-tempo piece. I didn't actually sing this at any of my auditions, so I didn't technically need it, but it was just good for my peace of mind to know that I had it in my folder. So that is it for the songs that I personally chose for my auditions. You really need to look carefully at the school's criteria that you're auditioning for. If you are auditioning for any of the same schools that I auditioned for, which are GSA, Mount View, ArtsEd, RCS and Erdang, then be sure to check out my audition series because it gives you loads of insight on the schools specifically and what I sang for those specific schools. Just really don't stress about choosing your audition songs. The right song will come to you at the right time, and there's no perfect song for one person. You just need to take what's your best at and what you feel most comfortable. You just need to take what you're best at and what you feel most comfortable singing. I still love singing all my audition songs that I chose last year, this year, so I think that shows that they're good songs for me, and I'm sure they will be songs that are in my rep folder for years to come. I hope this video has been helpful for some of you guys and answered some of the questions that you were asking about what I sang for my auditions. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up to let me know, and don't forget to subscribe down below to see all my future videos, including loads more audition content. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!